Romulus and Remus were twins that got abandoned in a river when a wolf found them and rescued them. Years later, while building a city to honor the place where they were rescued, Romulus mocked one of Romulus' ideas, and that led to Romulus being killed. The city was later named Rome after Romulus. Forum was a place where the Romans could socialize. It had baths, shops, temples, and markets. Additionally, it was a place where the criminal trials, speeches, and other events took place. It was situated in a small valley between the Palatine Hill and the Campidoglio. Many of the oldest and most important structures of the ancient city were located in or near the Forum. The Roman kingdom's earliest shrines and temples were located on the southeastern edge. These included the ancient royal residence, the Regia, and the Temple of Vesta. The magistrate consisted of 2 consuls who were patricians and served for 1 year. They took care of lawmaking, judging, and the army. The Senate consisted of 300 free men, elected for life, and their tasks were to advise the magistrates as their counsel, decide about wars, and judge. Members of the assembly came from all free men and served a year. They could veto new laws, elect the magistrates, and deal with trade. These 3 powers balanced each other to prevent corruption. The 12 tapes were where the laws had been written up. They were placed in the Roman Forum so everybody could read them and know what the law stated. Thus, one could be punished for breaking the law, as everybody should know them. Patricians and plebeians were the 2 different social statuses of the Roman society, if not counting the slaves. Patricians were rich landowners, while plebeians usually were traders, farmers, and other workers. Later, they started gaining more power and money, almost as much as the patricians, starting to diminish the social difference between them. Wealthy patricians became part of the Roman nobility. However, despite changes in the laws, the patricians always held the majority of the wealth and power in the ancient Rome. In general, patricians and plebeians did not mix socially. The Punic Wars was a series of 3 wars between Rome and Carthage, fighting about the dominance of the Mediterranean Sea. Carthage was a Phoenician colony founded about 50 years before Rome, giving them a head start. The First Punic War was mainly fought at sea to decide who would dominate Sicily. After 24 years of warfare, Rome won and punished Carthage severely. The Second Punic War, the Carthaginian general Hannibal came by land and crossed the Alps with thousands of horses and elephants. He was attacking Rome from within, and only by strong will did the Romans manage to stop Hannibal. Roman attacks in Carthage led to Hannibal rushing home, only to be defeated and killed at the city of Zama. Later, the Roman Senate, feeling threatened by the rising power of Carthage, sent a new army towards it to prevent the city-state from ever becoming powerful again. In the Third Punic War, the Romans' revenge was complete. They burnt the city down, killed most of the people, and sold the rest of them into slavery. After about 400 BC, Rome grew rapidly. In 200 years, Rome had conquered most of Italy. The Gauls now attacked Rome, demanding a huge fee in gold. Other smaller cities also tried to copy the Gauls, but the Romans retaliated and took over territories, and kept on expanding what would soon become an empire. The creation of the Roman Empire was starting with Julius Caesar, whose name until today means emperor. Julius Caesar became consul at the age of 40 together with Pompey. At the end of his year as consul, he became the governor of Gaul and managed to conquer the whole region. He was very popular with the soldiers and became very powerful. Caesar announced that he would come back to Rome and run for consul again. The Senate said Caesar would have to give up his army. He refused and instead attacked Rome. At the victory, Caesar made himself the one and only dictator of Rome. He conquered a lot of territory and became so powerful that other patricians felt threatened. To stop him, 60 people went together and murdered him with knives, making sure not one person could be blamed by his murder. He was stabbed 23 times. His adoptive son, Augustus, became the first emperor of Rome, something not expected by the murderers. The Roman Empire was born.